started this piece with intentions of making myself uncomfortable, honestly. I wanted it to be, in a way, like an experiment to see how much I can push the fences that I've created. Like when I am at a crossroads in a painting, I usually choose the route that I can like visualize and I'm comfortable with. But this one, I tried to, every time I was like faced with those crossroads, choose the route that made me uncomfortable. Like add the color that I'm not used to, or make the composition one that I've never tried before. Like this is a weird composition for a painting. And I just allowed whatever wanted to be just to be. And what came out of it was, now what I feel like it is a painting about the rain and the like release. It's like the feeling when it rains. It's like a surrender. In a way, it kind of feels like a ceremony, to me at least. There's a bunch going on, like symbolically with this, like Lady of Justice here. Like she's what began this all, but it isn't about that. It's more just about the rain, I found. She's like, I like to paint a lot of duality. I love the idea of balance and what balance is and how we find it, but I also love duality and juxtaposition, and most all my paintings have a lot of it. A lot of like kind of dark themes, kind of metal, but displayed in a beautiful way. Kind of like making dark things beautiful. I really like that. Yeah, I think like overall this painting is like a surrender to the rain and having all things in one moment be really holy. The dark, the light, memories. There's some of my own memories that are inside of this painting, kind of like hidden, but of course that's more personal for me. That's why I put Sanctus all over her. Holy. I was gonna try and play with a little more dark themes in this, dark and light themes all throughout, hide it in the clouds. I have some dancers in the clouds, and I have like a mother and her kid, and her baby in the clouds. So this piece started off with just this shape. I actually sketched this in my journal once of a woman just like, I loved that shape. I thought it was just powerful and also like eclectic and like charming for some reason. It like gradually builded just specifically from her. I took a bunch of reference photos and actually fit them into the shape of the sketch, if that makes sense. So it's not like anatomically correct, but I wanted to keep the gesture of it. I do a lot of paintings about memory, and this one was about memory as well. And like the trail of memories we leave behind, and that's what her like veil of flowers is that goes off into the distance. And all of this stuff around her is actually some of my belongings. Like I have this little wooden tiger. Actually, I sold it, or I gave it away when I left Santa Fe, so I don't have that wooden tiger anymore, but I wanted her just to be like surrounded by this kind of chaotic like afro of memory. Just like all around her head, like we all carry. And I'm realizing now I do a lot of paintings like that. That's such a common theme of mine. by archetypes in mythos and fantasy and old stories that attempt to explain the human experience. I just love story. And as much as I love a good book on philosophy or mindfulness, I mainly read fantasy books because it puts my mind in this place in this really beautiful place that isn't so judgmental of, or like self-aware or analytical. I really love the freedom of like fantasy. I love a lot of symbolism, old gods and goddesses of like in-between worlds, like Hermes and Hecate or Hecate. These gods that are like messengers that are like belong in these in-between lands. I love in-between everything. I love duality. I talk about it all the time because we like live in this. Our reality is that.